You'd think being a superstar with millions of fans and loads of awards would make anyone feel on top of the world, right? Even they feel like they don't belong. A lot of famous actors, singers, producers, athletes, as well as one of USA's first ladies, have talked openly about their struggles with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a feeling that we're going to be found out, feeling like we are a fraud, that we aren't as good as people think we are. It's kind of shocking and relatable to hear these names feeling that way. Zendaya talked about struggling with this on multiple occasions. You might not know this, but she was actually an incredibly shy child. Her parents believed the best way to help her overcome her shyness was through exposure therapy. They enrolled her in every club, class, and activity they could find, telling her that she only had to try it. If she didn't enjoy it, she didn't have to go back. And while that practice helped her confidence grow and prepared her to get to where she is now, that little voice of self-doubt never quite disappeared.
And you want to be like good, and no matter what, you always kind of have imposter syndrome. You always feel like, am I even good enough to be here? So
who wouldn't feel like they're on top of the world after all her success in Spider-Man movies, Euphoria, or Dune, or after winning 2 Emmys? It goes to show, no amount of awards can erase that little voice in your head sometimes. Margot Robbie's story is pretty wild too. She admits to having imposter syndrome and says she sometimes feels like someone's going to tap her on the shoulder at an event and say,
"Aren't you just some chick from the Gold Coast? What are you doing at the Oscars? Get out of here."
We're talking about an A-list actress with an Academy Award nomination who starred in so many incredible films and owns a production company. Yet she still feels like she doesn't deserve to be there.
I feel like I'll always have imposter syndrome.
Little Paul Mescal from Maynooth, Ireland, probably wouldn't have believed it if you'd told him that he'd be starring in Gladiator 2, directed by the iconic Ridley Scott, sharing the screen with acting legends like Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, and Connie Nielsen. That's the kind of dream most people don't even dare to have. But even with this whirlwind career, one that skyrocketed after normal people, Paul hasn't been immune to imposter syndrome. Reflecting on his time working on Gladiator 2, he said, "Trust me, internally, there's loads of that
imposter syndrome going on.
But at the end of the day, we've got a movie to make.
We've got a legacy to uphold with this film."
But he's taken it in stride, balancing admiration with professionalism. He said, "Denzel, Ridley, they're my colleagues. I'm here to do my job." That level-headedness might just be what keeps him grounded in the chaos of Hollywood. Reese Witherspoon struggles with this in every movie she made. She confessed that during the filming of Walk the Line, she was so scared of not being good enough that she cried for months.
Every day I wanted to quit. Every day I'd have hit in my stomach, thinking, I'm gonna be terrible.
She tried everything to back out of filming.
Oh, I tried every way. I called my lawyer. I was like, get me out of this. I told the director I can't do it anymore.
Are you
Like,
serious?
Oh my gosh,
Wait.
yes.
And here she is, an Oscar winner for that very role. How come the pinnacle of acting achievement isn't enough to remove the doubts? Reese still feels this way in every role she plays.
Every movie I've ever done is like, am I gonna be able to do this?
Billie Eilish openly shared that imposter syndrome has haunted her so many times throughout her career.
I mean, I just had such severe imposter syndrome. I've had that so many times in my life.
Especially when it comes to taking on big shows. I often feel like I don't deserve to be here right now, doing this show, and on this stage. She once said, "Any time in the last year I've headlined a festival, I felt like, why would you choose me?" She doesn't even believe Rihanna praising her could be true.
Eilish is the most anti-coolest girl ever.
She responded saying, "Trying to convince myself this isn't AI." Amy Schumer thought that Hollywood was playing some kind of trick on her and that people would soon realize she didn't belong in the industry. When are they going to realize that I'm disgusting and that I have no right to be in a movie and that I should be doing the funny bone and begging for half-off wings, which I'd been doing for 10 years, happily? Natalie Portman, another Oscar winner, said in her Harvard commencement speech, "Today, I feel much like I did when I came to Harvard Yard as a freshman in 1999. I felt like there had been some mistake, that I wasn't smart enough to be in this company, and that every time I opened my mouth, I would have to prove that I wasn't just a dumb actress." Another famous person struggling with this is Emma Watson. When she receives recognition for her acting, she feels incredibly uncomfortable. "I tend to turn in on myself. I feel like an imposter.
I had like a massive case of the imposter syndrome.
It's hard to imagine that Hermione Granger herself, who basically grew up in the industry, ever questioned her place. But it seems like this phenomenon doesn't care about how many movies you've been in or how iconic your character is. She turned to other people for help. So reaching out is one way to shake those doubts.
I was kind of like, I need to go to some people who've been doing this for a while and talk to them. And
Benny Blanco's fingerprints are all over some of the biggest songs in the world, hits that define entire generations. He is the mastermind behind countless chart-topping hits, yet the feeling of not being good enough is something he struggles with every day.
Yeah, I struggle with imposter syndrome, but that stuff never goes away.
It makes you wonder if this feeling somehow gets worse the more successful you become. Lady Gaga talked about this when she admitted how she still sometimes feels like a loser kid in high school. She says that every morning, she has to remind herself that she's a superstar so she can be strong for her fans. And it doesn't stop there. Imposter syndrome has touched the lives of so many incredible individuals across different fields. Take Penelope Cruz, Christoph Waltz, and even Michelle Obama, for example. Each of them has opened up about their own battles with feeling like they don't belong. Penelope Cruz has said that every time she starts a new movie, she feels the same first-day nerves and thinks she's going to get fired. It doesn't go away, that feeling of, I don't know if the world should take me seriously. I'm just Michelle Robinson, that little girl on the South Side who went to public school. I deal with imposter syndrome every day, constantly, wherever I go. But that's me, sorry. Eva Longoria had butterflies every day on set, wondering if she really deserved to be there.
We have imposter syndrome, had butterflies every day going, wait, why am I here?
But she was lucky to overcome it. Some years later, she actually realized that she doesn't believe in imposter syndrome anymore.
I also think imposter syndrome was invented by patriarchy for women. I'm faking it.
Yeah,
no,
that's actually
you're
a
doing
good
it.
observation.
You're doing the thing.
So, why is it that these wildly talented, wildly successful people feel like frauds? According to psychologists, imposter syndrome is a pretty common experience. In fact, nearly 70% of people have felt this way at some point. Research has shown that the phenomenon occurs in people of all backgrounds, ages, and genders. It tends to be more prevalent during periods of transition or when people take on new challenges. The combination of high expectations and limited experience in unfamiliar roles can often lead to feelings of self-doubt and inadequacy. Imposter syndrome doesn't magically disappear when you make it. It seems to stick around for the ride. Next time you're feeling like you don't deserve to be in the room, remember, even Zendaya has those days. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more content like this.